Hold on a minute. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, no, I literally just started the show. Jesus, I don't know what he likes. I don't know. You'll have to ask him that later. Good God, I don't know if that's going to fit. Ask him. I gotta go. Stats, you're going to have to make another call after you get done with the show.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Technically Speaking Live. It is Wednesday, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Well, we're trying. We're here, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it.
We have.
We have made it. I didn't think we were going to make it this week.
I got all the notifications on all the devices. So
all the notifications. We are live. Live. Anyway, normally I have like a pizzazz. I don't have the pizzazz today. I will probably get fired up during the show at some point. But I just don't have the energy. Like this week, I've been watching my stats on my Fitbit. Been sleeping like ass. Just bad. And yes, Juan, it was a bit. It flopped horrendously, but I'm getting there.
We're just wondering if you're going to explain it.
No.
Okay.
It's a trap.
It was awful. I'm working on it. I'm trying to be edgy. It did not edge. It did not edge. Look, I'm going to talk about I got some rants that I'm going to go on. Talk about the whole AI in your pocket, and evidently that's not good enough for everybody. We're going to talk a little bit about Pixel 8. Stats is lazy.
Oh, yes.
So just good God.
Technologically
just lazy. Christ almighty. We're going to talk about charging $1 for Twitter. Apple's Cajun. We're going to talk about that too. Probably get into, you can search a song by humming. Freaking amazing. Scared to become a meme. We are all over the place today. Mm-hmm. Everywhere. But I do want to talk about the weekend activities. I had a fairly exciting weekend in Nashville, Tennessee. But before I talk about mine, Mr. BoomBox, how are you?
I'm doing good. I spent a little bit of time last night with Billy Ocean at the beautiful Midland Theater in Newark, Ohio.
Classic.
Interesting show. The Midland Theater is a client of ours, a client of mine, and so they offered up any free ticket you would like, and I waited until the right moment, which was Billy Ocean. Billy is getting up there in years, but he still has the pipes. Oh man, yep.
Did he have the long hair?
Fine wine.
Does he have long hair?
One like very long flat dread. It was one flat dread, and then the dread would at the end of the dread it became little dreads. It's like if you were to feed a large piece of pasta into a pasta cutter before the larger piece of noodle becomes fettuccine.
He needed to let that go.
But,
Billy.
Yeah, he did. He does.
You got to let that go.
He was great.
I bet he does.
There was a woman there who had a poster of her kissing him at the City Center in Columbus, Ohio in 1988. And they shared a kiss again in front of her husband. It was really weird. It was a really weird night.
Sounds like it.
It was really weird.
Okay. Okie Stats.
So...
well, let's see. This past weekend, watched another football game over at our friend Justin's house. Did not have nearly the number of heart attacks like we did for the Notre Dame game.
We got a tough one this weekend.
Yeah, we do.
Was that streaming
Justin,
on a?
Yes,
it was streaming on the cock,
streaming
the peacock
only, and
Al Jazeera or something
streaming on the cock, the peacock from NBC.
The feed was it's probably early to mid 2000s video quality. The production
standard definition.
The production values were abysmal. They didn't start the live stream of the game until 60 seconds prior to kickoff.
60-second delay.
And yes, there was a
Peacock.
60-second delay.
Here you go, Peacock. Let's talk about this. We got 3 dudes right now that could quite literally handle that broadcast better in my basement.
Oh, 100%.
With technology that would be here tomorrow from Amazon.
Yeah.
Consumer
Than
grade
whatever
technology.
you just did on the Peacock.
It was not
stop.
great. Their replays were awful. Their cameramen, whoever they paid at that stadium, were awful.
Who were their
This is at Purdue. This was at Purdue.
Yes, it was.
who were
it was
their
at Boston.
announcers?
A former player at some level, and then some up and coming straight man. Not the play-by-play guy, not the color guy.
Odd way of describing him.
Well, I was thinking about it in terms of comedy. You have the funny guy and you have the straight guy.
Yeah, you gotta have the guy who is actually responsible for telling you what's happening.
That would have been Andrew Siciliano, Kyle Rudolph, who's your former player,
Yes, Kyle Rudolph was
and
the former player.
Lewis Johnson, former Olympic athlete. I don't actually know who Lewis Johnson
I
is.
wish they would get like Bard in there. If Bard could do it.
Yeah,
Bard. That would be amazing.
Couldn't
When do
have
we have
done
AI
much worse.
announcers?
Couldn't have done much worse.
Yeah, play-by-play. Hey, Paul Keels. Big Daddy Paul Keels.
So that's
That's who it should have been.
I believe that's what my parents did. They tuned into the 97.1 The Fan broadcast over the radio.
Should have done it.
And just listened to Big Daddy Paul.
That
Keels,
is exactly
so.
what you
It
should
was a
do.
90-second delay from radio to streaming.
Disgusting. Disgusting. Big Papa Pixel, myself, and the mini Papa Pixel, which would have been my son Bryson, went to Nashville. So shout out to the Guitar Build Workshop. Now, Guitar Build Workshop, I'm going to show their website. So we're going to go to the double share.
Well, let's do this.
Blah. Guitar Build
Can you
Workshop right here. Hold on. Working on the
Can you
working
zoom
on the
in
Zoom.
for the elderly here on the call? Oh, there we go. All right,
Boom. Right here, we were able to go to Nashville, build a guitar by hand, and take it home the same day.
Same day.
Fantastic
Wow.
experience. If you love music in any capacity, or are a guitarist or a bassist, whether left-handed or right-handed, you do have the ability to do this. And let me go ahead and show you. That's a car. This is also another car. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I hope you're not just clicking through your photo roll on Google because this could get
dangerous.
dangerous in a minute.
It's really bad.
So this is actually called the Midnight. Is what my son called it. And this, we went to the Titan Stadium. So this is my son rocking the greatest running back in Ohio State history.
Eddie George.
Hot take, Eddie George.
Not
hot
very
take.
Hot take. Oh, it's
Is
pretty-
it though? Archie, 2-time Heisman winner. This is the actual guitar. This is my son. And this is the actual guitar that he built. I can't
That's
zoom in
awesome.
for whatever reason. Oh, there we go. That
There you
is the
go.
guitar. He made it. He's very proud. I'm super
Oh,
proud of him. He
man.
did so great. He plays it. He loves it. He's doing great. That is the person who will eventually take over the channel when I have a heart attack. So there's that.
Or stroke.
One of the two. It's fine. He'll be good. He'll be in good hands. We'll still be at 23,000 subscribers.
Well,
But I mean, in a decade, he'll be good.
That seems
good.
high. That seems high. We'll have
I got to
lost
tell you, since you joined, we've been going backwards.
it doesn't have anything to do that we're not putting out any
It
type
has
of
nothing to
scheduled
do with me
content,
not making content.
scripted
It's got everything to
content,
do with BoomBox.
anything with
You
production
sipping on a
values.
little peach Crown Royal over there?
That's right. Little. I mean, it's that's who we need to get the sponsor right there. We need to get the Technically Speaking with Big Papa Peach brought to you by Peach Crown Royal.
That would
No, we can say whatever we want
That
because
would-
they ain't paying us.
that would be great.
They ain't paying us.
Here-
No, we just need the free product.
Here's the cold read. To create this extraordinary blend, Crown Royal whiskeys are carefully selected by our master blender and infused with the juicy flavor of fresh Georgia peaches. Crown Royal Peach. There you go. You like that? That's good.
Good night. So yeah, that's what we did over the weekend. Built a guitar, went to the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And those couple of car pictures that you saw, I shot on a Pixel 8 Pro in the Corvette Museum. By the way, I put it out on Twitter. Pixel 8 Pro takes exceptional photos. Are they perfect? No.
But
They are
how
by...
they not perfect? How are they not perfect?
Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, I think Google has opportunities for improvement. To me, it is not a situation where I'm going to be like, oh, this changes everything. I don't want it. Like you're seeing all the hot takes of tech Twitter all over the place. No ad-libbing on commercial voiceover scripts, Juan said. Damn you, BoomBox. Damn you. We will also talk about the fact that I was in the Tennessee Hollers or Kentucky, one of the two. I was in one of the two states, and there was in the Hollers. Like I saw things. I saw things. I locked my doors. Backwoods.
Yeah.
I can't believe we made it. Anyway, when we were down there, I got this sweatshirt.
Oh.
This is BoomBox. Who is this?
Houston Oilers.
Yes, my wife said it was the water towers.
The Houston Water Towers.
Houston water
did
towers.
she even get the Houston?
Nope.
Okay.
She just said that looks like a water tower.
No. That was obviously the Tennessee oil riggers. Yeah.
So that's the water tower. Yikes. I said, nope, it's an Oiler.
I love how American that whole logo is.
Uh-huh.
That's like There Will Be Blood, you know. Like, you know.
So here comes my rant.
That's great. Good job.
Here comes my rant. I have read on Twitter and watched a lot of videos and seen a lot of content about people moaning and complaining about the fact that the AI in the Pixel line is too slow. It's too slow. It needs to be faster. And I, for the life of me, am struggling to understand why that narrative even exists. And here's why I say that. We are doing some freaking AI on your phone, on your device. We are doing AI on your device. Is it going to be perfect? No. They're like it's too slow. It edits the photos faster than I can edit the photos. And Scott, you do this professionally.
Regardless of the platform or what AI is doing, there's a waiting period. I've found, whether you're generating images or you're generating like an intro piece of copy in, you know, about some client services website and within like Wix or whatever. By the way, Wix is so much better than Squarespace. Get it together, Squarespace. But
Wix.com.
like
Sponsorship.
It takes a few seconds. You're gonna wait. Like it's not all instantaneous. So I just can't think of any other AI experience that is that much is there an instantaneous AI experience right now? Like what is that?
Only on
ChatGPT paid version of ChatGPT is really fast. GPT-4 on OpenAI is exceptionally fast. Claude is very fast. Even Bard, when you type it in, it types the whole bit and provides you with the totality, whereas in Claude or OpenAI, it shows you the text as it's typing it.
Well, and what I was going to say is, yes, those are perfect real world examples of how the technology is getting faster, just like, I don't know, emerging technologies do as they have iterative development. But what I would say is, to answer your original question, why this narrative exists, twofold. One, people got to have something to complain about. They always do. Every single phone, every single update, everything. Somebody's going to complain about it one way or the other. And then the opposite side, which I find even more silly, is that people see things in movies or television shows or video games and assume that just because somebody spent years of their life creating CGI where AI is instantaneous, that these companies who are trying to turn a profit are also going to build that into a handheld computer that will fit in your pocket. And it's just not real life. And I think that's blurring the lines between what the regular everyday consumers want versus what the bleeding edge techies think they deserve. So
Juan says, y'all just haters. iPhone 23 will have faster generative AI and nothing worth buying except for Apple. Checkmate, droid nerds. And he's right. The idea is like, I can take a picture and and within a few seconds, I can magic erase people or objects from my phone. Normally in the past,
the hard pivot between what Stats just said and what that comment was everything to me. Thank you guys. That's why I keep showing up every Wednesday.
I know, right?
That's
We're
why
sure shit's not because we pay you.
That's why Juan is a super fan of the show.
Oh no, I love Juan. Juan is a professional on every single level. But he's right though. Is the idea is like, what are we expecting? And so my question is, I know that we're not expecting too much out of our devices, or maybe we are. Maybe I'm being naive. But the idea is, are we expecting too much? Or it feels to me like every single release, there are movement of goalposts. All of a sudden, the goals move. The posts move around. They're never the same. It's AI's too slow. You didn't have AI before.
Yeah.
Magic Eraser's too slow. What are you talking about? It's like a handful of seconds, whereas before, let's assume for a hot second, I'm on my iPhone and I snap a picture in Pro Raw Max, which again, by the way, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. And then I airdrop that to my MacBook, which by the way, that takes time. So let's not count the fact that I just sent a 25 megapixel, picture over to my MacBook. So that takes, and that takes 15 seconds, call it, right? Then I've got to open Photoshop, which, by the way, notoriously not fast. And then I've got to do generative fill, maybe, assuming my Photoshop beta has it, or I have to do what's the other one, spot fill or something like that. You know this, Scott. I don't know.
Stamp.
Clone stamp. Thank you. Then I've got to clone stamp things around it to make it look like I literally just did that on my phone in less than a minute. You didn't even
do it on your phone. Your phone did it for you.
Yeah, my phone did it for me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're right. I should probably totally edit on that. It's way too slow. Come on, guys. Like, what are we really expecting here? So my question is, are we expecting too much from our devices?
Yes.
And we're moving the goalposts.
Yes.
Can we just be content with the fact that we are getting bleeding edge technology in a phone that you literally carry it around in your pocket? You have the ability to do artificial intelligence in your pocket.
Yeah, in consumer grade technology.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So here's Michael Peppertech. I like to feel like I'm one of the few that thinks AI is going too far. I'm like the cranky old madman or man mad that photography is being destroyed as an art form. I would argue it's not being destroyed as an art form. It's a different art form. But I get your point.
He's exactly right. They are coming from my job first. I can now voice to text logos, voice to text photos, design, copy, everything that me and my team does is being
AI. And by the way, you can do that from your phone. On some instances, you can actually, like the photo that is behind us right now, I prompted that using my phone, and generative AI gave me that. But even going back to the picture,
who told generative AI that we needed it all to be on a like a silk covered table?
I didn't say silk covered table because
it just knew what was right.
I didn't pick that. I said I wanted a boombox with peaches on a table in a dark background. That was almost verbatim the prompt that I gave, and all of a sudden it's got mason jars and silk thingies. Like, I didn't tell it to do that. It just knew to do that.
Full still life.
But I mean, that my thing is like, guys, what are we doing? Like, you have the ability to do some of this AI in your pocket. Is it going to be perfect? No, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. What I'm saying is pissing and moaning about the ability that it's too slow compared to what?
Right.
What are you comparing it to? The fact that you want it faster? That's different. Are you comparing it to another program? Because all the other generative AIs, by the way, have a time lag, especially if you're doing image generation.
Well,
Image generation takes time.
And I would argue a step further, which is something we've talked about in the past weeks, is what Google is doing is groundbreaking because they have given us the ability to do it on our phones without sending the data anywhere else.
That's not entirely true.
Well,
I get what you're saying, but that's
outside
not
the Google platform. How about that?
Yeah.
So, versus ChatGPT, Claude, yes, I know Bard is inside the Google platform, but to a certain extent, you can keep all of this within your own device or within your own personal ecosystem, and you're not relying on third-party attachments, third-party programs, things like that, and potentially pushing your creations, creativity, your content out there and exposing it.
It is a preconceived notion. The tech influencers, quote unquote, right, are saying it's not fast enough compared to what I expect it to be. Now the expectation is different. That's very. I get it.
How can you even have an expectation? This literally came out 2 weeks ago. How can
Because
you
of
have
Tom
expectations?
Because of Tom Cruise and Minority Report. That's why.
Stupid Tom Cruise.
Gattaca.
Stupid Tom. Why don't you go back to Scientology, pal?
He never left.
Never left. But I mean, that's the thing. Is like I don't understand. Like, folks enjoy the tech, and just enjoy it. And by the way, people can call me a pixel, whatever. You can call me whatever. I love Google. It's fine. They're not perfect. And I had a small scientific discovery of this yesterday when I was conversing back and forth on Twitter, and I will always call it Twitter for as long as I'm on it for right now. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Man.
With Patrick. Patrick, Canadian, amazing dude from Toronto, fantastic creator, great dude, he's funny. He's very funny, very sarcastic, great guy. He said he calls the Google camera trash, abysmal. Now, I think that's being a little grandiose, but whatever. He said, he goes, I snap photos repeatedly using an iPhone. I think he uses a Pro Max, but I'm not entirely sure. But in Pro Raw Max, the highest setting you can get on an iPhone. And so he opens up the camera and just point, takes photo after photo after photo after photo. And he said, now try to do that with the Google camera on the Pixel 8 Pro with the 50 megapixel lens, full pro mode. And he's right. The iPhone is faster. The iPhone is definitely faster. And I noticed it when I was taking pictures of the Corvettes at the Corvette Museum, that Pro 50 megapixel setting does have a solid 2-second delay to where like you take it and you can't move. Like there's a little dot that appears on the screen and you basically keep that dot inside the circle. You keep it, captures it, and it gets a whole, like when I said the pictures were exceptional, it pulled in all of that information and the pictures came out beautiful as long as you didn't move. If you moved, you were boned. And that is going to be a problem, and Google is going to have to fix that. I saw you over there. I saw what you said. I saw what you were doing.
I heard you right here. I heard you right here.
I know you heard it. It was deep. That's a problem, but it's a problem I know that can be fixed. And by the way, if you move back down to the 12 megapixel, it's instantaneous, just like before.
Right.
Just like before.
Yeah.
And so
I think you took some really good. I thought that your choice of subject in your testing was really good because you've got that like flake glass, sheen on some of these cars.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, like ray trace lighting basically from the 3D world where you've got contoured edges. They're extremely well lit from, in this, in the settings, so, but I thought they looked good.
They look great. Like the photos look great. But again, it's a little nuancy thing, right? Patrick was right. The iPhone is faster. He immediately takes, you go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one. The iPhone wins in the speed part for that one. Now, if I back it down to the 12, just like before, no problem. Not a big deal. No big deal at all. And I do believe that Google will make that better. And I think they should make that better in the December feature drop. amongst a whole bunch of other things. They can make that better, bring on the video editor where you upload a video to the cloud and it pushes through everything and basically makes it like a motion picture or whatever they're calling it. And so that was one of the things that I noticed that the Pixel 8 has opportunities for. But AI is not one of those opportunities. I'm not saying that it's perfect because it's not perfect. No Pixel, no phone, frankly, is perfect.
No AI is perfect.
No AI is perfect. But man, I tell you what, the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 8 period, is getting like weird hate. And it is the best Pixel they've made ever. It's a very Tim Cook line. This is the fastest, bestest iPhone we've ever made. Well, I would expect you to say that, Tim. It's the most brand new iPhone you're going to make. The iPhone 5 was better. Buy my stuff that's new. He's not going to say that.
Of course, it's better. Yeah, it's like it's the new one. Like this is not as fast as the last one we made. Who's going to say that? Yeah,
right. And no one's going to say that. It's just one of those things. Is like that small. Like if they could cut down that time of the 50 megapixel photo in half, from 2 seconds to a single second, no one would be the wiser. No, because how often are you going pow, 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 with photos? Pretty rare. It's pretty rare that you would take back to back to back to back photos like that.
Well, and that was going to be my question.
Paparazzi.
Yeah, for the people that are running these tests, other than setting your camera settings to shoot only in burst mode, this is such a small sample size of needing that high quality of a photo, but also needing to take 6 photos in a row in 4 seconds. It's just, I don't see a real world element to that. But again, more power to them. If these creators want to test that and push these phones to their limits, by all means, go ahead. That's why we buy them for a lot of these people. But in the comments, Malcontent said, he's kind of on the other end. He's just a phone user, and that's the same space that I find myself in.
Yeah.
Is I'm like a lot of people. I always have my phone with me. I expect it to work the way it was designed, and I expect it to work all the time unless I do something stupid. And
then he calls me.
Or I plug it in because I forgot to charge it, one of the two. And then as long as those basic, fundamental, hierarchical phone needs are met, I'm okay with it. I very rarely push my phone beyond its limits, and that's only if I'm over here and we're doing, technology bro stuff, and we're just trying to see what can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like complaining about it for the sake of testing. I mean, testing is great because it does show you what the actual head-to-head type things are, but Malcontent is exactly right. Like, and even as someone who creates on the daily over here, like I'm not worried about, for the most part, like what the limits of my phone are, unless I'm like trying to shoot action sports or something. I mean, it's like you're going to create good content because you're a good content creator. It's not because you have a 6A or a 7A. You can't blame the brush for your bad painting.
Nope.
And so you've got to realize that, like, folks have been making amazing content with lo-fi technology forever. It's just, I get it for the sake of comparison. I want the fastest phone. I want, this, but like at some point it gets to the point of like the guys that, like we were talking about just a few weeks back, that are like folding the Pixel Fold the wrong way to watch it break. And you're like, well, okay. Well, I guess you're right.
Happen?
You're right.
I guess you win.
I won't fold it backwards. And that's the thing is like, again, it just
I won't try to take 650 megapixel photos in 4 seconds. Like I don't,
I won't do that. I'll back it down to the 12. It's just a different choice.
Well, yeah,
right. It's just a different choice. You change the way you process things.
Yeah.
I won't take a 50 megapixel shot. I'll take a 12 one. Okay.
Well,
take the 12.
You won't even attempt to take a 50 megapixel action shot. if you know the limitations of your device, it's just like knowing the limit. It's like knowing the limitations of your vehicle or your own physical body or things like that. You know, you're not going to try to jump up on a mule and run the Kentucky Derby because that is beyond.
For real?
Yes, that is beyond.
For real?
Beyond your limitations.
For real? You brought the mule into it.
Yes, I
you
did.
really did bring a mule into
I
it.
did.
Boombox, you know the story. I broke my back because I
know.
got bucked off of a mule.
Just like somebody who's just like a professional photographer being assigned to the Super Bowl, he's not going to take an iPhone with him. He's going to take a Sony or something like that.
But Olivia Rodrigo's music video was shot on an iPhone 15 Pro.
And it was edited with several millions dollars of worth of equipment behind the scenes.
That is not part of their narrative, sir.
Well,
don't you change their narrative.
This is our narrative because it's our show and everybody else can bleep off.
And yes, Juan, I totally stole the megapickle. I said what I said. You made me do it, Juan. You made me do it.
We just really like pickles around here. Spicy ones. Spicy dill pickles.
Take that as you will. Stats is lazy. Stats, you are
technologically lazy. Hey, but I'm wearing your watch.
You are wearing the watch we bought you.
Going?
Oh yes, let's ask him. How's that going, Stats?
Look
How
at
is
you,
it
Mr.
going?
Wearable. What's the stats on your stats?
I am 3 for 3 this week on wearing an analog watch. I have not set up the smartwatch or connected it to my phone yet. So
have you even plugged it in?
I haven't even taken it out of the bag.
This is what I'm telling you, like, ladies and gentlemen, folks, here you go. I texted him. I was in the hot tub. I texted him. I said, hey.
How is that important to include?
First world problems.
I just want you to just envision me just literally a bag of peaches. A bag of peaches boiling in a hot tub.
50 pounds of peaches in a 10-pound bag.
I have 50 pounds of peaches in a 10-pound bag.
We are
boiling.
We're canning the peaches that are on screen right now in those mason jars.
So I was marinating, sauteing in a hot tub, and I texted.
I wonder, as the bubbly foam is going
So I texted him and I go, how's that watch doing? And then I get hit with it's 33% this, 33% that, 33% this other thing. 33% it wasn't a priority. 33% he didn't know how.
That's not true.
Whatever you said. 33% he was lazy.
Yes.
So the answer truly is he's lazy 50% and he wants to set it up over here. Other 50%.
Absolutely.
It had nothing to do.
Over here means you do it? Is that?
That's exactly what he wants.
No,
he wants to.
Yeah.
I will do it. I will do it myself. I have a history of
my
doing
house.
this while he is watching and instructing me, so I don't screw it up and I get it done correctly the first time.
This is what I'm talking about, folks.
You also need my help to chop wood this weekend. So
I agree. I don't disagree. Well, first of all, you like doing that.
Analog digital trade-off there.
I know.
You know.
It's the duality of man. It's a dichotomy.
It's a weird relationship we got.
Yeah.
It's a weird relationship, right? Houston water towers. What did you sign up for? You're still here. Congrats. But yeah, he didn't even set it up. And I just want him to just set the damn thing up so I know how crappy or good he sleeps.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. I just want to know your sleep score.
I'm genuinely interested, but as we talked about at the beginning of the show, it's not really an excuse because I do have plenty of free time when I'm not at work, but man, I have been busting my butt at work and my brain is tired.
I tell you what, I can't be in bed with you, but I want to know what your sleep score is when you wake up in the morning.
If you were in bed with me, it would be a lot worse.
I'm not sure how to take that comment.
Take it however you want.
That's also a comment that I don't know necessarily needs to be made right now.
You're the one with a new mattress, so
things just got very weird at 9:35. 9:35. You gonna pay $1? We're changing the subject now. Pushing that clutch, shifting gears. commentary question. You paying $1 for Twitter? For those that do
review? Yes. Let's
for those that do not know.
Early reports are.
Early reports. They are actually not only early reports, they're confirmed in 2 countries. Confirmed in 2 countries.
Which two countries?
New Zealand and the Philippines.
That
they are.
So basically, okay.
They are paying $1,
that
$1 US dollar.
Not appropriate.
For the ability to tweet. It is a subscription program called Not a Bot. It is beginning in those 2 countries, designed to, quote, bolster our already significant efforts to reduce spam, manipulation of our platform, and bot activity. By the way, the design to bolster our already significant efforts, your efforts suck. If you are saying that you've recently tried Twitter to cut back on spam and manipulation of your platform, you are horrific at it, because I tweeted at Patrick yesterday and we were bombarded by adult-based bots. Bombardment. So my question is, are you prepared to pay $1 to Twitter for the ability to tweet? Caveat, to tweet, retweet, quote tweet, all of those things.
So you
if you don't, for free. You can watch for free. If you want to engage, it's $1.
It's $1.
The first minute's free.
Yeah, this is a gateway drug. As soon as they've given you the introductory price, the promotional price of $1, now they've got your credit card. They already know that the credit card, the ACH or the credit card works, whatever. And then it only goes up from there.
Yeah.
Just like Netflix. Netflix went up to $24.
Every platform ever has done this.
Mm-hmm.
So
are you prepared? Low price.
Yeah.
Are you prepared?
No.
Even for $1.
Yeah. So one, it's on principle because Elon can. Yeah.
He can Elon.
Yeah. He can Elon himself. And number 2, no, like you said, the engagement and I am literally seeing either an ad or a bot every other tweet these days.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just so annoying to try to filter through the mess and find content that I actually want to consume.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I'm not willing to give that man more money just because he made a bad investment.
Pixelpia, it is $1 per year. I can't. $1 per year.
So in his opening statement, he's admitted that we can't control the bots on our platform. So you should enter your credit card number.
That's his logic. The logic is the only way to fight bots is basically this.
Oh my God.
He is saying this won't stop bots completely, but it will 1,000x harder to manipulate the program or the platform. He is saying it will be 1,000 times harder to manipulate the program if you pay $1.
Or I don't know, the people who create these bots
pay the dollar,
or these massive troll farms out of these different countries. They'll just pay the $1 to get approval, just like the $8 a month or whatever paid check mark that he instituted. That didn't work either, because that was supposed to verify that the person was who they said they were and that they were reputable. That went out the window about 5 minutes later. So this is going to do nothing except, by my calculations last night, which we had a fun little conversation about.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell you were going with that boombox.
Potentially putting, if he charged every single user $1, potentially putting another $532 million into his pocket every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's assuming everybody does that.
Yeah.
They're assuming, there's going to be the laws of if only 50% do it, it's only this
laws
amount of money.
yeah. I think it was like 750K a day,
Yeah.
based on current users, if they all signed up.
So you guys are staunchly in the camp of I'm not paying for it.
Yes.
I don't need my Visa to fix your bot problem. It's just
I
don't feel like that's a very hot take.
I'm genuinely surprised that he wants to accept the risk of maintaining the credit cards, because there's an inherent risk there. Because if that data is then lost, and a event happens where credit card information makes it out into whatever, there is legislation in many countries that mandate Twitter to pay for consumer protection. I'm genuinely surprised that they are going to put themselves in a position to do that. If I had to take a wild guess, they're not even considering that, because the people that
did they
would
roll it out into these two countries because they don't have those protections in place yet.
It could be the minute that they do this in the EU, the volume of consumer privacy protections, if a breach event happens, they will pay millions of dollars in fines, and he will have no way around it. Like, it just is. He's just going to have to take it, dog it.
I'm almost
millions
curious.
of fines collected from our visas.
Basically, like all the money that he, like, because he wants to, because again, it's just an inherent risk. Again, I know it's funny that you think he cares about regulators. He doesn't. He's not even thinking about it. He's not thinking about that stuff. And the people that would think about that stuff, he fired.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is, right?
I'd be curious to see, if he was actually going to try to internalize the credit card payment processing, or if he would just farm it out to a third party who would then assume all. It
doesn't matter when you enter. So I can answer that question, and without going into it too much, based on what I know from regular job
life.
It doesn't work like that. Not in every case.
Okay.
And
glad somebody has an answer.
It doesn't work like that in every case, because the mothership, where Twitter or X in this example, would still be held liable regardless of a third party due to contractual agreements. And I would say that that's probably even going to be a bigger problem, because he fired all the attorneys that would review all the contracts. So there's literally like a janitor that reviews the contracts, I'm sure.
There's two hamsters in a wheel that keep the servers running.
They could probably go to their CEO. She knows a lot.
They keep taking her off of panels because she keeps showing how much she knows.
Oh, that panel she was on. That was brutal. Good God, that was brutal. That was a mega oof. That was an extra large oof. So you're not paying. BoomBox, you're out. You don't even Twitter anyway.
I don't exactly. I can barely thread.
Stats, you in or out?
I mean, I will hang around and watch the dumpster fire, but if it ever comes to me having to pay to be able to tweet or retweet, or hell, even like or heart or whatever it's called these days, no, I won't willfully give that man any of my money.
Interesting. I don't believe I believe one of you. I don't believe you both. One of you will cave.
You don't believe the one who's actually on.
Yeah, I don't. I think you will. I think the biggest part that, like,
there he is, this guy right here. I'm trying to figure it out.
And here's why I say that. Here's why I say that.
He's actually on Twitter all the time.
I'm good. January. I'm good. Second week of January, third week of January to like July. I don't need Twitter. It's good. I'm fine. Football season, though? Football season gets me.
Yeah.
OSU football season is the thing that keeps me coming back to Twitter in NFL football. Like, I love to read the hot takes. Like the one
for news. Yeah. Is this person actually injured because they're not covering it in the broadcast? Show me the angle of the injury that I can't see on TV.
That's what I like. I want that information.
Are they in the tent or not?
I want the real-time information about the sports right in the moment. So that's why Twitter's very, like, right now, peak Twitter time. This is the thing that is, this is what I like it for. Here's what he's not considering with his $1 crap. A lot of times people use Twitter for legitimate real-time news in emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
There is a, and we're not going to get into it. There is a massive event happening that's happening in the middle of the middle of the earth, right in the middle. People theoretically could go there and get information that could be critical to the saving of their lives and let people know information, but they got to make sure they put that visa in first. What's that CVV on the back? Got to have that CVV before they can put information out, which could be good for saving lives. But I got to get that dollar, dog.
At the start of all of this, he had talked about taking, because AP News talked about leaving their handle, and he was going to give AP News their handle to someone else,
right,
to run the handle. Who wasn't AP News?
Yeah, NPR did leave.
Did they really?
Yeah, NPR left. Right.
Wow.
Well, not immediately after his takeover, but after. It was one of the, trigger points or red lines where he did something incredibly stupid. I think is when he started threatening legitimate news organizations with removing their handles if they didn't pay. NPR just said deuces and left. They went to Threads. It was hysterical for about 5 minutes, and then everybody forgot about it.
That's what, like, there are legitimate reasons to put that out there. I get it. You're not getting ad revenue. I get it. Something has to give. NPR left and saw only a 2% dip in their traffic and engagement.
Thank you, Juan.
I'm telling you, the man's a professional.
I really like it when people back me up with
professional. Professional.
It's not going to stop with stats. Yeah,
he's not going to look. This dollar thing's not going to work. I'll just say it right now.
I can't even talk about it anymore. It's making me sad.
Oh, you sad? You all right, big dog?
Can we talk about Ray-Ban, Meta Ray-Bans?
Oh,
I want to talk about this.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go.
And I also kind of want to talk about the fact that, like, Zuckerberg had his own little Tim Cook moment, but it was outdoors, and we just ignored it.
We did?
I was going to say, I need to hear about this.
There was a whole event.
Meta had an event that was like, Google and Apple, and like he talked about everything they were doing, and he had this big screen and his even more robotic talking points. That's my robot hands. And he like totally changed the definition of the metaverse, and
he did.
Okay, listen. For next week, we have to circle back and talk about it because it's very funny. We have to do our homework first. But one of the funniest things that I loved about it was they're continuing to move forward with these Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses. So I don't know if you want to share this.
Hold on. Let me get to the share screen.
There's like that TechCrunch article that we had been talking about. And so there's these Ray-Bans, which are, okay, cool. Like great. They are good looking sunglasses.
What?
And they've got these little tiny like cameras in them, and you can, live stream or you do content with them or whatever. And
right there.
And there they are. And so
you really need to get an ad blocker.
you have got to like zoom out. I don't know what is happening there.
Hold on. Now you yelled at me before I wasn't zoomed in enough. Now I'm zoomed in too. Here we go.
There we go.
We need you to be faster.
I almost need I need a producer.
You need an AI that's faster.
Thanks.
So it's a lot to digest with only a few minutes left in the show, but I do want to kind of preface that I would love to talk about it more next week because I think initially we had talked about, like, would you wear AR glasses? Would you wear?
I would. 100%. Would you?
So I would wear these. These don't look like Google glasses are like that. You've got, like a Bluetooth blinking thing on the side of your head, like you're trying to be a cyborg. Like these look like actual glasses I would wear. I mean, look at the glasses I have now versus the glasses
Yeah.
that are that they're showing. And if you see there, the left and right up here, right here and here, there are the lenses, and you can live stream or whatever, which I'm not really all that interested in, but like, I'm not a big live streamer. Also, my life is not that interesting, but like
As he says on the live stream.
Oh my God.
Oh shit, yeah, I guess.
But not like from my, okay, it's fine. I'll figure that out later. But the question of like, would you wear these glasses? It's like, I think about these in terms of like every action sports person that has a goofy,
The GoPro on their top
hero attached to their
Yeah.
head. Like if they can get this quality up, like, and you can do other things with it, you don't have to have a concussion shock mount, with a whole head strap on, to like shoot content. Like if
it's
you
always
could
the
shoot content with this, like
battery life for me.
I think-
it always
I
comes
think-
down to the battery life.
absolutely. I think this is the most fascinating thing to come out of that big meta event. I don't care about what, you talk about like moving the goalposts. I don't care about what Zuckerberg is doing to change the definition of like the metaverse, so he seems like less of a failure, or he's lost not as much money. It's fine. But like this right here, like
Look at that.
is extremely interesting because you're not wearing an Oculus, Rift. You're not. I might have just dated myself with that term. You could also wear these when the battery dies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the legitimate
I think
glasses.
it's
Yeah.
fascinating. Yeah, like
There you go. Look
from
at
a
that.
legitimate optical maker. Like you might look like a spy kid, but
Like I don't think he looks like a spy
ultimately-
kid here. If I wouldn't choose that frame color. If he chose a black frame color, you would never know unless you specifically got close enough to him that there was something on the side of those lenses. By the way, those are
The price-
incredibly
incredibly affordable.
unbelievably affordable. It's very
Incredibly
approachable.
affordable.
Very
Incredibly
approachable.
affordable.
And a lot of times, and I
so-
don't know this, you would have to say is like maybe does your eye healthcare, your eye care cover part of this? Because they are prescription lenses. Do you get a certain amount for frames? They never said you couldn't have frames that do this.
I mean, realistically, that price isn't much more than a standard set
That's
of
what I mean.
Wayfarers to begin with.
Right. That's what I mean is like
So
they're very,
Exactly.
very approachable.
You want to talk? So we had talked about last week about how the price point of the Pixel was a perfect for consumers, again, like us, but even though we're a little more like tech forward with a little more higher level of like expectation, for me, the price point of the Pixel 8 Pro is absolutely enticing. And you
Mhm.
throw in a watch and you throw in 7 years, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like a pair of Ray-Bans that you can shoot content with, or even stream content with,
Mm-hmm.
and has like transitions and lens and frame types. It's not like you're all wearing the same, set of like,
How sick would it be you're wearing them, go to a high state football game. You win the national title, whatever. You immediately kick off a live stream. They are seeing it from your viewpoint.
as you're running down the stairs, jumping
How
on the
sick would
field,
that be?
yeah.
Like that is such
every
a cool
concert that says you cannot bring a camera into the venue. You're like, cool, I didn't.
Yeah, cool. I didn't. I mean, yeah, there's a couple things we got to figure out there, but like we would have to say is like, okay, up to 4 hours on a charge. Well, okay. How quick can I recharge? Can I plug them in while I'm using them? Can I put them in a bag? Like, do they have to, like, based on what I'm seeing right here, they would clearly have to go into a case and then plug in right there on the bottom. USB-C, fine. I will put my glasses in a backpack and charge them while I'm walking or whatever, or sitting, and then I will put them back on my head when they're done charging. That is,
And also, like,
it's
after
just,
4 hours, like, haven't you accomplished what you hope to accomplish, and then you
Yeah.
can just wear them normally?
which is great. I think it's
know?
extremely approachable. It's the augmentation overlay that I'm very interested in.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to handle
other
that?
things? Yeah, like that. To me, this is one of the more fascinating pieces of technology that is coming out and is advancing.
And it's the art of
And
the
it's-
possible. And so what I say is like the art of the possible. Think about this in terms of what Apple's done with their watch. So with the watch, where you have the double tap, where you do like this or triple tap, and you can do things with the muscles in your wrist. At some point, the technology will exist with the glasses where you'll be able to be like, no, and swipe things away with just a motion, and it will use those augmented lenses and swipe notifications away, double tap to say, yes, I want to answer, or use your voice to answer. It's like the art of the possible is we're right there. But you know what I'm going to say? It's going to be too slow. It's got to be faster. That's what it is. It's never going to be fast enough. I need it done instantaneously.
We got to put a Gen 10 AI in the glasses.
Apple iPhone 23 to wipe my ass.
Why isn't this better already?
Why isn't this better already?
I just opened the box.
It hasn't even come out yet. It's not good enough.
We haven't even talked about it, and I already tell you that the Ray-Ban Meta is already awful because I can't swipe away notifications, and it should do that right now. Automatically. Shut it down. Go away, Zuckerberg. I just told you your product sucks. That's the same argument we were talked about at the beginning of the show.
Thank you for letting me approach this, because to me,
you should just.
I love this. I love it in like 7 or 8 different ways.
Just tell me to shut up and take the show over. That's all you gotta do.
I wanted to hear about, your life, but there's plenty of content out there. I think we can circle back on some things, like the hilarity of the new Apple Pencil.
Oh, we had that. So stupid. We'll get into that next week.
We may never get there. It's
we got to make fun of it. We got to make fun of it. It's the same concept. It's the same concept of, let me sell you this dongle to plug your lightning cable into your. Stop it. Quit it.
Yeah, it's
slap shit on somebody for that. How many do you think they sold?
How are they reselling us pencils and sunglasses?
Jesus. Oh, God.
Pencils and sunglasses with technology.
9:58. BoomBox, where can they find you?
At Scotty BoomBox on every platform, including Threads.
I saw you threading earlier. I
was threading my eyebrows. And I'm working on it. I mean, I tell people ScottyBoomBox.com, but it's like a year away from it. It needs an update. I'm going to come back on the show and I'm going to be like, okay, now go look at my website, but don't look at it right now. It's coming. It's coming.
Okay.
It's allowed.
Stats?
I am at Helix Island on the tweet machine forever and always, but not paying for it. And at Country Smith everywhere else.
Not paying for it.
At Scott Peachy on Twitter. At the Scott Peachy everywhere else. Thank you all for joining. Apologies for the bit that I opened the show up with that fell completely flat. I will try again next week.
We weren't ready for it either.
It's okay. I got a bit for next week too. It's coming. Be prepared. All right, y'all. Be good at it. We will see you in 7 days. Deuces.